FTP test done. 285 was my FTP. Not great. I was hoping to get about 295, but it's something to build off. And it wasn't a cardio thing, which is good. It was more of a strength thing. My legs just couldn't go. So it's something to build on. But what I'm really proud about this morning was the mental battle I faced. It was -3 when I woke up at 6 AM. The heating was on. I looked at my phone and it says -3. It has warmed up a little bit now to 2. But I sat at the table for about an hour contemplating whether to put this off for yet another week. But we got it done, and now it's something to build off, which is good. The plan for today is 9 to 5 work. I'm back in work after Christmas, and then I have another session after that, so a double training day. It actually might be a triple training day depending on how I feel, because I might do my easy bike later on to shake out the legs after this. But definitely a gym session, as I haven't done any strength training in about 5 weeks. So that's definitely something that needs to be worked on in the new year. But for now, I'm gonna go upstairs, shower, get some breakfast, and get ready to start the day. Oh, and it's refuel time. So pre-bike, I had 2 pieces of sourdough toast with jam, peanut butter and honey. The plan was to actually do a recovery after the ramp test, but my legs were just gone, so I done about 5 minutes and got off. I'm going to do an easy ride later as well as the gym. Or I might do the easy ride tonight and then move the gym session to tomorrow after the bike again. But the nutrition now is in this bowl. I have 5 grams of creatine with 1 electrolyte, a coffee, and then I have 50 grams of granola, 250 grams zero fat Greek yogurt, and some frozen fruit. Now, I am a creature of habit, so I've had this breakfast for about 3 years non-stop, and then at about 11 o'clock, half 11, I'll have 4 eggs on some sourdough. And then about 3 o'clock before my evening training session, I'll have something quite high in carbs, maybe sushi, pasta, rice, just something along those lines. But what I found is if I stick to the routine, especially with nutrition, then it's much easier to manage my training and adjust the nutrition, because I already know how many kind of calories and carbs and protein are in each meal without having to check. So yeah, that's my kind of nutrition. The plan for today, again, is just the 9 to 5, and then I'll update you all when I'm going to the second session, probably the recovery bike. So the video hasn't gone back to this morning. I am actually doing another bike this evening. My legs are pretty tired after the test this morning, so I'm going to do an easy hour 10 bike. So it'll be 217 watts for an hour, right at the top end of zone 2 pace, so I can still get some benefit out of the session. It was meant to be a strength session. It would have made a bit of a more lively video, but I don't really see the point in going in the gym and trying to go heavy on legs when my legs are absolutely destroyed. So we're going to do this bike and then move the session to tomorrow. So yeah, that should be fun, but it is still absolutely freezing. It's still only about 1 or 2 degrees, so I think this fleece might be staying on, definitely for the first part. But something I'm gonna talk about on the bike is the importance of consistency. And there's a quote that I heard, which is, I gotta remember what it said. It was, be consistently good rather than occasionally great. And when I heard that, it kind of, it made sense to me because of the Ironman training last year, but we'll go and discuss more of that on the bike. Let's go. So I'm just finishing the 1 hour 10 workout. It was a decent workout. It's freezing. My toes are so numb, even though we are training indoors. I'm gonna have to wear my foot warmers. But the one thing that I saw the other day that I mentioned earlier was I can't get this quote wrong, but it was be consistently good rather than occasionally great. And when I heard it, it kind of stood out to me because the first time going back to the World Cup for touch rugby, that was the first time I trained consistently for something with a clear plan in mind, and it went well. But that was in a way occasionally great because I trained for 7-8 months for that, and then straight after that tournament, ate loads, got really out of shape, and then the Ironman prep come last year, and the same thing kind of happened from February to September. I was training non-stop at a good level, but again, as soon as that race ended, you've got to take a break, and I get that, but it was the eating, the binge eating, putting on weight, not doing anything, drinking, and it just put on weight, and then kind of back to not quite square one to what I was before training for Ironman Wales last year, but I'm not far from there. And I think if I want to take the sport seriously, then yes, I do need time off, but it's what I'm doing in that time off. So still eating well, still looking after myself. So kind of I've made a promise to myself this year that even when I finish a big goal, still keep in mind that the training's going to start back up soon, and I don't want to go into that training from square one because you end up kind of getting nowhere. So yeah, be consistently good rather than, I'm going to say that again, be consistently good rather than occasionally great. And that's something I'm going to adopt from now on.